Can I get a medium iced pumpkin coffee with cream?
Medium iced pumpkin cream only. Anything else?
Yes. That's it.
$2.75. You're right up.
Thank you. Well, that was more confusing than it needed to be. Today is one of my favorite events that I do every year. Chris! Look at that timing! I just got out of the car and I saw you pull up and I was like, there's... What is it?
Was that you?
Yeah, it was me at the guard.
Yeah, I was trying not to hit the top.
All right.
All right, good to see you. Came and I didn't know she was going to videotape me too. I thought it was just a new, for the Hartford Courant.
Oh yeah.
But she did a video interview that ended up online, which was awful.
No, sure was great. Introduce yourself for the YouTube viewers out there.
Yeah, hi YouTube viewers. So I'm Chris Steiner. I teach art history and anthropology at Connecticut College. And one of the courses I've been teaching for the last 4 years is a seminar on secrecy and the invisible. And we look at issues of surveillance and voyeurism and secret societies and sociology texts, look at ghost photography, and we look at magic.
Okay, look at this. I can roll into frame right now. Look at this. Yeah, so this is my fourth year that Brian is coming here for a guest performance. Yeah, I don't know, presentation, something like that, whatever the best term is. Having the students discuss with each other instead of just talking to me. I try to, whenever someone tries to answer to me directly, I try to, talk to each other, have a discussion, and I just try to kind of pop in and out with points, or have you considered this, or
pop in and out with fantastic tricks.
And tricks, yes. We keep the, I tend to open always with just straightforward kind of 10-15 minute performance of magic to give them something to think about while we start talking about magic. And then anytime there's, I don't know if lull is the right word, but if there's a little lull in the conversation or we're kind of transitioning topics and not sure where to go, I'll do another trick, and then to kind of reinvigorate thinking about some of this stuff. So yeah, this is, I wish every single event all year was like this. This is where I get to fulfill my my fantasy of being a college professor, because you guys, my audience on YouTube, know that I went to school for philosophy and math, and I was starting a PhD in philosophy when I decided to turn it down and pursue entertainment full time. So I always expected to be a professor, and that's still an option later in life, maybe.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Cool.
When I was 10, 12 years old, I did magic, and I always fantasized about being a magician, and I became a professor.
Well, there you go. Grass is always greener is what we're saying right now. Some people think that I must be keeping them up my sleeves, but I'm not. But if I was, this is what it would look like. I would have to place 1, 2, 3 over there, then I'd have to take one out of my sleeve, move it to that hand, get rid of one from that side. That's not what I'm doing, because you would see it if I was. The original term suspension of disbelief was actually longer. It was willing suspension of disbelief. That was the entirety of that phrase. And that willing suspension of disbelief is really important. In other words, I have to place 2 of them over here, take one out of here, move it around to that side, get rid of one from that side. It'd be too obvious for us, so that's why I'm not doing that. It's been argued, most famously by Teller of Penn and Teller, it's been argued that magic is not a willing suspension of disbelief. Rather, magic is an unwilling suspension of disbelief. That when you watch a magician, you don't want to suspend your disbelief. You have to suspend your disbelief. One last time, would you put out your hand for me, Megan? I'll take this one, you take those 2, squeeze. The last one goes from my hand if we see it. No. My definition of magic is the moment of conscious conflict between knowledge and evidence. In other words, it's the moment that you have to confront your senses. It's not true. If I do it gently, it comes off. If you dip it down, it comes back on like that. The moment you see something and you go, I know that isn't true, but all of my available evidence tells me that it's happening anyway.
That was fantastic.
Was
It was really
I feel like I ask that every time. see you again. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, I hope so. Terrific group of kids, really enjoyed the conversation. As per usual, we ended up talking a lot about sexism and magic and what can be done about it. We touched a little bit on a debate I've been having in the magic community recently, which is about the millennials are too PC, or modern audiences are too PC, and what that means. We went over stuff about skepticism and deception and test conditions and how people approach a magic show, and that magic is an art form that's supposed to make you feel uneasy. It's supposed to challenge you and what you think about the world. So, largely, great success. I've got a bunch of requests from prospective clients, though, that are asking about mostly holiday parties coming up in the next few months, so I'm going to respond to those, get back on the road, get some lunch, and go home and work the rest of the day. So even though it's only 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm going to call it for this one. So thanks very much for sticking with me, and always remember that our world is a shared experience. Have a great day. We went so far back in time, we went back to the beginning of the trick. You remember this moment? You didn't even put your card in the deck yet. Turn it over.